Sorry. Coach, obviously didn't get the win, but what does it say about the team that you guys, were in it until the very end?
Yeah, I think that there was moments there where we were up against it. Playing in this environment against that team with some stakes on it. And we responded. So competitive, resilient, tough, just like we've been talking about. So, yeah, great response. Just couldn't quite get over the hump.
You look at what Colin Gillespie was able to do, a new career high in points, also 3-point attempts. What do you see from him, just his ability to constantly deliver and in those big game situations too?
Yeah, at some point it'll be the norm instead of a new career high, a new career this. So he just continues to set a new standard for himself. He just never stops. He's like an Energizer bunny. He just keeps going and going and going. His pace, what he brings on both ends, his intensity, and he's a winner. He's a winner. So, every night he straps him up and goes out there and gives everything he has.
And then just looking at Goodie, any news on kind of what happened?
Yeah, it looked like an ankle, but he seemed fine in the locker room. It's just one of those things. Of course, you go home tonight, see how it feels in the morning, and we'll assess, in the morning before the game.
Coach, talk about that. First, before I even asked about Colin, but just the way he gutted it out, man. Just the way he was able to gut it out and play the way he did, and it looked like he turned the ankle there at the end, though.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there. I think it was actually in between the scorer's table and the court, wrong spot. But of course, it happens on a play where he's diving for a loose ball at the end of the game to try to make a play. Just overall great night. His energy helps us on both ends of the ball. His competitive spirit defensively to take any matchup, and then just keeps going. He just keeps going. So great night for him.
You said you would know exactly where you guys were at after a game like this. What would you say where you guys are at after a game like this?
Yeah, we're in it. You're in the fight. You think you work so hard to be in those environments and these arenas in this spot where you can really test yourself and test the group. There's multiple times in that game where we were hanging on, and then you throw something and it connects. And that's this group. Third quarter, I thought they really came out super physical and aggressive there to start the third quarter. It made it really hard for us to even enter the ball on offense. And then we responded and got back in it and had a couple of possessions there where we could have evened it up or went ahead. So, great fight.
You talked before about taking the first shot. You guys thought Royce at the end did that. How much would that have helped had you guys maybe taken that approach? I know it's tough to get shots off on him to begin with, but just that idea of the way Royce came through and hitting threes and taking the first look he got there.
Yeah, I think he started 0 for 4, and he might have even started 0 for 5. And I told him, get more up. It's against this defense, it's hard to get to the next action because at some point they're going to collapse on you, and you got to make a heck of a play just to get it out of space into space. So, that was our saying today is go ahead and shoot it when you're open. At times you feel that, but 20 turnovers is too much. That's what they do. It's kind of been our Achilles heel to start here. We got to clean that up and get a shot up because once we do offensive rebound at a high rate. We'll clean it up.
How would you assess just Shea and guarding him and knowing that he's going to have the ball at the end of the game and he started slow, but maybe he got hot going and just the challenge of that tonight? Would you feel like you guys maybe tried to take away but just weren't able to?
Yeah, we had different coverages on him all night. We're trying to play him with our big involved, then we would switch. At the end, we were trying to take the ball out of his hands. Being there on the court, and you can see how little space he really needs to get to his step back. But the reality is, it's just the 17 free throws. You got to keep him off the free throw line somehow, some way. He's best in the game at it. You take out half of those and it puts you in a better spot.
Lastly, obviously, Mark put up some minutes tonight. How do you assess that moving forward for tomorrow? Yeah,
22 minutes, in an intense game. I'm not exactly sure what the pace of that thing was, but, yeah, we'll continue to assess. He gives it to us, everything. You can feel his presence out there, his size. I thought Oso did a great job tonight. His ability to not only switch and help us defensively, his ability to play make when we can need an outlet in games like this is very valuable. So, yeah, we'll continue to assess and see where we're at tomorrow.
So, all right, one last thing. The turnovers, is there any adjustment you feel like you guys maybe could have made or maybe didn't make that maybe we're just not noticing with the novice eye?
Yeah, I mean, we tried to play more ball handling. I was a little bit of the Oso piece in the second half. That's why we tried to go to him a little earlier in the third quarter, just the extra ball handler out there. They put a lot of pressure on you, and that's something that we have continued to do is turn it over. And I thought early it was some turnovers that are just abnormal to even us at this point. So obviously we're going to get someone who's driving in the crowds, and the best in the NBA at doing it. So, yeah, we'll clean it up. Can't have 20 turnovers again, because once we get it up there, we're going to go get it.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you.